upper bracket final. Boy, oh, this is going to be such an interesting one, just to see what form Falcons are in, because they did have that dip in form last time out in the Spring Open, but here in the Spring Cup, they have looked like their former selves.
Oh, 100%. Falcons look to be back on track. They're not getting these kind of upset losses like they did last regional. But the big question on everyone's mind is, can Rule 1 take them down? Because Rule 1 are so close to locking themselves in for that final major. Their first major of the RLCS for these players. And really, a lot of it depends on how they perform today.
Yeah, huge weight on the shoulders of Rule 1. As we mentioned there, with the performance that Falcons put in there, all but confirmed for heading to Boston. They just need to get to the final in both this one and the following Spring Invitational as well. But it's going to be Ahmad opening up the shooting. Not opening up the scoring quite yet. It's Mazen. Easy enough save for him. And now Kalir's down that left-hand side. Try to put a little bit of pressure on the Falcons, just to test the waters here in the first game of the day. As Falcons with the majority of the possessions. Touchdown there from TRK and a double commit with Ahmad. We might open up the counter-attack for Rule 1. But everyone on Falcons just getting themselves back nicely, and Mazen has a chance at it, but is taken away.
Incredibly close. Here comes Kalir's. A miss there from Ahmad. And a pass into centre off the backboard will not be found in the follow-up. Well, Khaled's perfect control on that back line. But Kalir's once again, split reset, trying to bring it into centre. Got a touch, but a teammate a bit too close there. Mazen will try and keep control himself. But 50-50 not working out in his favour. Possession will be lost to Ahmad.
I know you mentioned in the pre-show bio that Rule 1 have only lost, or only beaten Falcons one time this split, or not this split, this entire season. It was as Rule 1. They did beat them as KRN a couple of times.
Yep.
Back in the first event of the season. But I can't, like, the maybe it is the brick wall that they have to break through. Maybe even just give themselves mentally a chance, saying, we can take down the best in the region, why can't we take down the best in the world?
The thing is, Rule 1 know that they can beat Falcons. They have done it so many times in non-RLCS events. The Saudi E-League, for example, was Rule 1 dominating Falcons at times. There's other events as well outside of the RLCS where Rule 1 have taken down Falcons. RLCS seems to just be that last roadblock, but they are finally, seemingly getting past that. But as time continues, we remain 0-0, and of course, I remind for everybody, every match today will be a best of 7. This is no exception. Game number 1 of this, what seems to be a long, grueling series, because we know the quality of these two teams. I do not expect a runaway from anyone. I expect this to go the distance.
I would agree. I would tend to agree with that. Like we said, only Falcons not dropping a single game coming into this one. Rule 1 only dropping the 1. Something's got to change here in this series. And Rule 1 and Falcons just really back and forth. There's no real overall control from either one team. They are giving them each other the respect that they deserve.
Yep.
No one wanted to take full control as of yet. No one wanted to make the first mistake, because they do know what is at stake.
The game feels tense, and for very good reason. A minute left to go, and we remain 0-0. Crafters, this next goal could be the winner for game number 1.
This first goal.
Yeah, and Mazen gonna slip it past one. To the backboard, flip reset, it's into centre with a good chance, slips it under the crossbar, and it will be Kalir's to find the first.
As smooth as you like there from Rule 1. Ruaz, he's went for that once already, and he does get it off the backboard, off the crossbar, and over to his teammate to slot that one home. First blood goes to Rule 1. And no real, flourish on that one. That was as simple as goal you'll get in this series.
Well, a simple goal you'll get in a MENA match, because it was still incredibly mechanical, but simple for these players nonetheless. But Kalir's going to try and go for goal number 2, secure this game at the moment, but Ahmad down the other end. A great receiver, RW9 cannot connect, TRK onto net, but Kalir's doing everything, saving and scoring, able to keep Rule 1 in the lead.
Yeah, Falcons giving it everything they have here in the last 30 seconds. And TRK gets his pocket picked. Oh! And what an attempt there by Maz, and Khaled does keep his lines clear for the moment, but it does give Rule 1 the advantage. Ball deep in blue territory. Now coming back up the field comes TRK, but Kalir's reads that perfectly. So Khaled will maybe have one more crack at it. Rawaz takes it away, and that is what Rule 1 do greatly here at the end. Just play keep away from Falcons and get this ball on the floor, and they will end up taking game 1 unless Falcons have a ace up their sleeve.
They're keeping it up, and TRK will catch. Off the ceiling, it will bounce. Ahmad to receive. Off the backboard, the attempted fumble not be found in Rule 1 by the skin of their teeth. Well survived, and Masson sends that one down. Rule 1 take game number 1.
Not as flashy as we've seen from many MENA series over the years on this particular broadcast, Boyle, but more reserved there from Rule 1. And I mean, you know, simple Rocket League, it gets the job done. This goal here from Rawaz was as clean as you like. Lovely stuff off the backboard, gets over to Kalir's, and that was almost 2-0. But really, Falcons didn't have any inroads. So Rule 1 just played solidly on their goal line and kept Falcons at bay.
Yeah, Masson really saved the game with that save, to be honest, at the end there, because I don't see a world where that's not getting scored by the Falcons, so Masson doing a great job. Khaled on defense on that other half was so important. It was 5 saves fine for Khaled. Keeping that game only at a 1-0 scoreline, if he can keep that defensive performance up, it's going to be so difficult for Rule 1 to get these goals because they are such good defenders on Falcons. It's kind of the thing that I think a lot of teams in these emerging regions, the best teams always strive at is defense. You see it in SAM, you see it in MENA, you see it in APAC. Every single of these emerging kind of regions, the best team is always really good at defense, and Falcons are no exception to that rule.
I think it's because we put a lot of spotlight on the offense in any region of RLCS, and I think more so in a region like MENA, like SAM as well, because the offenses have been so potent, especially from Falcons as they, you know, formerly when they were Sandrock Gaming as well, were playing outside of the RLCS and everything that they were doing there. But like you said, the focus should really be on the defenses, and Rule 1 playing it nicely in game number 1 as we approach into the Forbidden Temple. Let's see if Falcons can get the bounce back here. As TRK will lose that one coming out there, but I think Falcons just need a little bit, a few more chances. I didn't quite catch their shot count in the opening match, but it didn't really feel like they had all that many.
Certainly not any more than I would say, but 5 from what I can remember. But Rawaz down the other end is getting some shots on the board early for Rule 1. Nearly save found, but a counter-attack is looking very muted at the moment. TRK will try and pass it to centre, and actually all by himself will almost slip it into the back of the net. Off the crossbar will still not be enough. But Falcons certainly close to getting that first goal of the game.
Very close indeed. And just putting a lot of pressure onto Rule 1 here as the shot comes in from Ahmad. And Rule 1 play, but this game feeling a lot more open than it was in game number 1. I missed there, that's huge from Kalir's, but he was lucky he wasn't punished by Falcons. Let's feel more open though. Ball is traveling a lot more, and the possession game is less of a concern for both sides. They're happy to bat it back and forth between each other, give each other maybe 1, maybe 2 chances on net, maybe even no chances on net, because Kalir's just keeps this one in the corner, and Rawaz has to turn tail and get out there and refill his boost.
TRK up to Khaled, tries to find the angle, will not make the connection on the ball. A pass into centre once more denied. Khaled, heavy on the approach, loses control of his car. A bit of a mess in the midfield, but Falcons do come out better with it. A flip reset attempt from Ahmad, going to be denied by Rawaz. Kalir's up to the other end, Rule 1 counter-attacking opportunity. Not going to be fast enough to beat TRK though. The ball lingering in the centre of the field. But Khaled with an early save, and a great clearance away means that Falcons are safe once more.
Yeah, Kalir's refuses the shot on that one, or at least the dunk attempt. Did have 2 members of the Falcons defense fly over that ball, so you were 1-on-1 with the keeper if you got the dunk done. Kalir's just playing the percentage game, just like you said, like we were talking about in the break there, just playing the defensive game. You don't score, you don't lose. Or excuse me, if you don't concede, you don't lose. You score though. As Khaled is taking this very awkward there, and I think TRK and Ahmad were thinking the exact same thing. It's like, what the heck are you doing?
That's playing for the wrong team there, Khaled. But Roas to Clears. Masson waiting. It's a wide open net. Clears is a feast, but it's a goal nonetheless. And Rule 1 take the lead.
Another double commit there. We've seen that quite a few times already from Falcons. TRK and Khaled not quite on the same page there. Some communication issues starting to become apparent for Team Falcons. Never really felt that way in days gone by for this squad. This time around, it does feel like they're a little bit twitchy. They know that they had a poor performance last tournament, but maybe a little bit scrambly to try and make up for that after the phenomenal performance they've had for the last couple of days as well.
Wow, that's a great 50-50. Cannot make the connection, but in comes his teammate of Masson. Clears up to the backboard, not going to be enough for a goal. But down to the other end, Khaled 50-50 into centre. Ahmad. It's a great shot to net. It's a diving save off to the ceiling. Masson launched down the other end. Falcons are still hunting for a goal this series. Still only 2 goals scored all series long, crafters, and both have been in favour of Rule 1.
There's no real punish play from Falcons whatsoever. There was a double commit there on the goal line for Rule 1 a few moments ago, but it was well handled. They managed to recover themselves, but they had the space to do so. Falcons are just giving them so much time to recover from any mistake that they are making, and to be fair, they are few and far between for Rule 1 at the moment. Maybe just try and put some pressure onto Rule 1 because they're playing full free-flowing Rocket League right now, but that's a huge demo from Khaled, and TRK will get Falcons on the board for the first time.
A clinical demo as TRK puts his whole car into it, forces that ball through. Masson will try his best for the save, but not going to be found, and we have a game in our hands, crafters, as 1-1 the scoreline becomes.
What did I say, boyo? Pressure, 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 and you can't get any more pressure than a demo onto the other team. Remove the man from play, but here comes Clears to put the pressure right back on. It's off the crossbar. Rawaz will follow up to the backboard, but TRK does eventually get this one down to a teammate. Can't quite clear it though, and Mazin will recover. 62 boost with a flip reset in hand, and TRK just shutting that one down before it can progress any further. Rule 1 trying to answer back quickly, and they might just do his Mazin all just off the post.
That shot from Khalil is almost so incredible, but Masson down the other end will receive that ball as it bounces down and towards the centre of the field. TRK, great play. Ahmad, an incredible demo on Rawat. Masson takes it high, a last chance to avoid OT. TRK will let it fall, and for game number 2, we head to overtime.
First one of the day, I'm sure first of many. 1 goal game in game number 1, quite literally, only 1-0. I know it's going to be a 1 goal game here, but who's going to take the victory? TRK might have spotted an opening. He has got out to Ahmad, but Rawaz gets to it first. Clears is upfield, and he turns it in. Only 20 seconds gone, and it's Rule 1 who take a 2-0 lead.
Clears looking like my ranked teammates with that positioning, but he's in the perfect spot for this pass. The trust from the team is absolutely perfect, and Rule 1, it pays off tremendously well. No one could expect him to be there, surely.
Oh, that was clinical from Clears. He just gets lost in the sauce from Falcons, and Falcons just completely discount him from being anywhere but in defense. And what an interception from Rawaz on the goal line as well. You thought that might have gone in. I think TRK was looking for Ahmad, but it was Rawaz who, like, this one here. Or no, excuse me, that's the demo in fact. It's this one here. Rawaz fires it upfield, and what a pick out from Clears. Absolutely picture perfect. And that is how Rule 1 just punish Falcons for just the slightest of mistakes, and we're not seeing that going the other way quite yet.
It was a crazy game there from Rule 1 once again. Some great shot attempts and some great goals along the way. Now, at a 2-0 scoreline, they're looking really good, and kind of a callback to their last series they played against Falcons. They've currently won 4 games in a row against Falcons. They won the last 2 in that Winter Invitational match, and now won the first 2 of this match. Rule 1 are really seeming to have Falcons' number the last few times they played, and if they keep this up, they are major bounds, surely.
Got to be. I mean, it's going to be difficult for them to lose it if they get through to this grand final for the second tournament in a row. By the way, I failed to mention the predictions in chat had 75% of the channel points going on to Team Falcons. So the Rocket RB chat looking a little bit silly right now, but we are still plenty of time left in this one. No timeout from Falcons, though. We don't really see a lot of timeouts in MENA, but I would imagine Falcons are veteran enough that surely they must have called timeout there.
I mean, I would only expect it, but apparently not. Rule 1 will not be complaining nonetheless, as they are sitting pretty 2-0 up. One more game, one, and they head to match point. It could be a quicker over as a sweep if Falcons do not turn things around fast. An early save from Kaliers, but it's TRK finds some more action off the backboard. He will read this bounce, and he forces his way through. TRK, with using every bit of scrap boost he has left, is able to find a go out of that.
He's just the best, isn't he? TRK, he's a menace in the 1v1 scene. We'll obviously see them in Gamers 8 in a wee little while soon as well. In the crew battles, every time there's a 1v1, you choose TRK because he can do stuff like that. But here comes the answer back for Rule 1 off the crossbar, and no follow-up, and it's TRK again, just to take the option away from Rule 1.
Roas off to the backboard early on, the pass down to Masson, but he is backing off to safety. TRK's on the ball, and he's going solo once again. He doesn't need teammates this game apparently, because every single attempt he's making has been incredibly close, or even a goal. It falls back to Ahmad now. A big launch upfield. O'Khaled there for it off the ceiling, it will bounce it on down. Masson, an easy catch, but the flick, weak. Easily dealt with by TRK. He has seen a million of them in his time playing this game, and he knows exactly what to do.
I think Falcons would want this second goal before Row 1 can answer back. Having the first lead that you've had in the entire series, no less. Holding on to this 1-0 is going to be a tough challenge, because you know how punishing Row 1 can be. And a bit of a floater there as TRK is going to pick up the rebound. And Falcons just keeping this pressure deep, and this is not something we've seen from them all that much throughout the course of this upper bracket final. And to keep Row 1 back and force them to play defense as well as they have been playing defense, given that. Just try to force a mistake out of them. That's probably what Falcons want to do, and it's certainly what they're attempting to do here.
I think one of the things you can have noticed most in MENA is that a lot of the times when kind of plays are being made, these players are using their boost to the fullest. I'm seeing so many times that ball being touched with literally zero boost left. They are using every last bit to make that shot as perfect as possible. You see it there once again from Ahmad, using all boost he had left in that tank to get that touch. And because of that, it's another goal for Falcons. They're 2-0 up, and they are getting back into the swing of things.
It just shoots up like a rocket. With the 40-50 boost that he did have, did Ahmad. And like you said, nothing wasted on that. Very fuel efficient from Ahmad. And Falcons do indeed get that 2-0 lead in the first 2.5 minutes of this game. Number 3, crucial one at that. And it just proves that you don't always necessarily need a timeout to try and get a game back. But here comes Rawaz trying to turn the tides here for Row 1, and the Mazin will follow this one up. Good save from Ahmad. Row 1, no inroads found quite yet. They'll still have the lead after this game, no matter what, but they'd like to go on to match point as that one's crushed against the crossbar.
Well, yeah, as you said, you don't need the timeout to win the game, but the game's certainly not over yet. Row 1 getting some incredibly close chances, but the defense from Falcons is hanging on for dear life, but it is doing an incredible job. Rawaz cannot bring that ball to center because it will be denied. But Masson to Kaliers, off to the back where it will be sent, where O'Khaled awaits. The control from Falcons has been incredible this game. They have really sorted themselves out in terms of the rotations as well. The positioning has been on point, but as Masson tries to get this ball upfield, he'll find an opening, but Kaliers just not going to be fast enough. Beaten to the ball once again, and a chance for Row 1 denied. Rawaz, a big mistake, and Kaliers caught out. Masson will try, but once again going to be saved on the line, this time by TRK.
Needed to score that one, Row 1, to try and make it competitive. They might well have another few cracks at it here as Masson again. So many off the post, off the crossbar in this game. Alone from Row 1 as Rawaz tries to pinch it off him. I think 2 people there just sitting in the box. Won't be able to get the pinball read off of that, but here comes Masson again. And they're doing so much work in these corners, or row 1, that Falcons are reading them so well and just playing such lockdown Rocket League.
Kaliers tries to no success to bring this ball into center. It's a good attempt, but denied once more. Then all the way back to Rawaz. A tap up high off the ceiling, it will bounce, so Khaled down, but Massim will catch. He's going all the way. A reset on the ball perhaps, but demoed. Ahmad says otherwise. That might be an own goal there from Massim. No. It'll be exactly that in beautiful fashion. I mean, Falcons win this game now.
Oh, I'm confused what happened here. Okay, Rawaz jumps and Manson, wrong place, wrong time, egg on his face, 3-0 Falcons. This game's done. And Falcons given a gift there. And they think he can get 4th here as Ahmad one-on-one with Mazin, who will follow up with Khaled, and it is 4-0. And this is the confidence boost that Falcons need. It's not been the prettiest of games here, but compared to the last couple of games in this series, Boyle, they have played so much more efficiently.
I think mentally I'll call this game a 2-0. But a 4-0 scoreline nonetheless is what Falcons have achieved so far. The own goal and the kick-off goal is maybe not really as reflective of this game, but certainly still shows just how strong Falcons have been at bouncing back. They had a 1-0 loss, a 2-1 loss to follow it up. They came back, took this series into their control, and they are looking good once again. They are looking like a competitor for row 1.
They absolutely are. And I did mention in there, they're playing Lockdown Rocket League. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that you look at how they played in games 1 and 2. They were playing, as in Falcons, they were playing very open, inviting row 1 into their side and trying to play the counter-attack game. They realized that's not working, so now they're going for early challenges in the midfield. And row 1 haven't quite adjusted to that yet, obviously. With the, I mean, like you said, mentally that's a 4-0 game. That shot from TRK was awesome in itself, and it got you started very well. But Falcons they're playing the percentages. They're putting pressure onto row 1, as I've said throughout the entirety of this series so far. Just pressure row 1, and they seem to just give up the ball very easily.
They are struggling under that pressure, and I think for fair enough reasons. It isn't easy to always deal with at first, but nevertheless, it is certainly going to hurt having that own goal come on through, and how well Falcons have been playing in that game as a whole, but certainly something that row 1 we know very much can bounce back from. But we've got a series on our hands. That is the important part there. Row 1 are a great team, and they definitely can come back from it, but will Falcons allow that to happen?
I don't think they will. I think Falcons, they found their groove, they found their rhythm, they found what's worked for them, and row 1 are struggling with that. But maybe we'll see an adjustment as we enter Utopia Coliseum. But I think Falcons getting that first one on the board in game 3, getting that early lead, and they do here as well in the first 4 seconds. What a morale boost this has been. That's 5 on the trot.
My, oh my, so early on, and Falcons, they do not want to let this series slip any further. 1-0 start, only 4 seconds needed. End the series with an own goal, end the last game, sorry, with an own goal, end this game with an incredible kickoff goal, adding insult to injury to row 1.
Oh, Mazin again, you saw that in game 3 as well. They tried to punish early off of the early goal, but TRK will not let that happen. Here comes Khaled on the follow-up, and it's wide. Oh, row 1 trying to bounce back quickly. Again, Falcons just not letting them, and Ahmad bullying Kaliers in the net. Get out of my server, I say.
Ravas will try for the clearance away, but Kaliers rising high instead. He's here to play. Kaliers, the touch out of nowhere, will find the goal for row 1 and tie up the game.
Row 1 needed that. They've had 5 scored against them in a row, and the first goal that they've scored since overtime of game 2 to tie this one up. Exactly what the doctor ordered for this squad, and Kaliers, what a beautiful air dribble that was. Finding the space, finding the gaps, and threading that needle. But Falcons could answer quickly. Oh, off the board, and it will be Rawaz to send it clear. Back and forth we go.
Close attempt, but down the other end, it's Ahmad. A launch onto net, saved by Rawaz. It is diving on both sides of the pitch to make these saves, but a whole save's gonna be found A follow-up from TRK up to Ahmad. It will go. Khaled waiting in centre. No success to find the touch. Masson under one, but cannot get it past TRK. A brick wall with this back line. The Falcons back into possession.
Yeah, running out boost was Mazin, and he recognised that. It was only one-on-one with no boost, so he'll elect to get back and refuel for this attack that Rule 1 seem to have pulled out of their pocket right now. Falcons dealing with this pressure really well. They are starting to counteract what Rule 1 have been able to get out of the kickoffs. You've seen a lot of the kickoffs have been really in favour of Rule 1 in terms of how fast they've been out of the traps. Obviously that kickoff goal going Falcons' way at the start of this one does them a lot of good. Every time Falcons have scored, Rule 1 just seem to counteract that with a really quick play. Might want to see that in more open style here now as Rawaz just pings that one down. It'll be easily saved by Ahmad. But if Rule 1 can pull out a really quick counter-attack, I think it's going to really hit Falcons where it hurts. And Ahmad looking to drive the knife a little bit deeper. Won't get past the defense this time.
Beers barely avoided that bump. Really well played from Ahmad, just could not find that finishing factor. But to roll on around that back ball once again, it's Khaled waiting in that centre. Still not going to be enough, but Masson push it down the other end. Half the game gone on by with the main one apiece. Ahmad flip reset attempt, unable to get around that ball. Khaled will keep the possession alive, but TRK going to slowly edge on backwards towards net. As Rawaz brings it into centre, Masson lands and a pass to Killiers will work out from the commotion. A possession loss once again. It is a struggle for both of these teams to kind of have consistent possession at the moment. They are losing that ball with some kind of stray touches here and there, and that's going to be the costing thing for this sustained attack, is that they're struggling to sustain that pressure as a whole.
I think the thing is, Rule 1 are spending a lot of time down here in the blue half. Yeah. And I think they do know that Falcons are struggling to get possession off of them, so that's why they are, you know, allowing themselves to stay down in the other half of the field and try and just keep Falcons honest. Because Rule 1, despite the aggression that they've shown, Falcons have not shown yet that they can fully quickly counter-attack before Rule 1 can manage to rotate themselves back to defense. As here comes Killiers. He'll have Rawaz in tow, and it'll be Mazin almost on the goal line. The full three-man play for Rule 1 doesn't quite drop this time. And Killiers again being the setup man for Rule 1. Not quite this time though.
Killiers unsuccessful on the approach, but as the ball falls into centre, it's Rawaz with a shot to net. Ahmad can make the easy save, but a demo along the way will make it a little bit harder as it bounces off the backboard, falls to centre once again, but still not going to be enough. Rawaz, control of that ball in the air. It falls on down. Khaled, a big clearance away to the corner. It will fall. Ahmad onto net. It's wide open, and it's a Falcons lead.
Oh, what happened here? It did feel like Falcons finally do get that counter attack that they so desire, but I think that was Mazin, in fact, off of the corner. Just trying to pinch it away, perhaps pinch it up the wall, but instead it comes off the top of his car and gives Falcons a 2-1 lead late here in game number 4 to try and tie this one up. Rule 1 certainly have a quick counter attack in them, but the question is, can they pull it off? It does feel like Falcons are shutting down every path back into the blue end. But here comes Mazin over the top, gets the bump on TRK. Rawaz follows up, but the save from Khaled will keep them in the lead.
Where on earth did he come from? A save from the heavens. Khaled keeping Falcons alive in this game. Mazin will try but denied as well. As the ball approaches the ground, Crafters, it looks like we're going to have an even series 2 apiece. It will so be.
What a comeback here for Falcons. It did look, I don't want to say it looked dire in games 1 and 2, but it did feel like Rule 1 had all of the control, all of the momentum, but that has clearly swung back in favor of the perennial champs of this region. This 4-second goal as well. Yeah. That's really got to put a dampener on things for Rule 1, but the answer back from Killiers certainly kept this close, and it was a really ding-dong battle back and forth. But that one little mistake from Mazin in the corner That's what the series is gonna come down to, Boyo. It's gonna come down to tiny little mistakes because both of these teams, we always talk these guys up as being the best in the region, and they certainly are in the eyes of a lot of people, in my eyes, and I'm sure in your eyes as well. But they know each other so well, and that is like because they end up playing each other pretty much every single regional. They know everyone's tendencies, so it's difficult to change things up. But that's exactly what Rule 1 is going to have to do.
Oh, 100%. They've got to make those adjustments. They've got to make those changes, and they've got to make them fast. The winner of this next game is going to have match point in their favor. It is certainly going to be a close one here. Rule 1 and Falcons. As we head in for game number 5. Whatever will they do?
Back to an even Stevens series. Question now is what do Rule 1 have in the tank left? Oh, they might even get punished in the first 15 seconds of this one, just like they were in the first 4 seconds of game 4. Early goals have really swung the tide in favor of Falcons, and they might get one again. Ahmad just not quite finding the right angle to get that one off of his car. But Falcons so aggressive, holding this midfield, and it's completely a change of tune from this team who looked like they were just inviting Rule 1 into their house, setting out the table, pouring a cup of tea for them and saying, have a slice of cake while you're at it. But now they are locked down, shut down, and keeping Rule 1 honest.
Ahmad looking for that early goal once again. Will not be found as early as last time with a minute already gone on by. But TRK into centre. A pass to Ahmad is great, but Rawas going to do enough to find that save. Keep it a 0-0 affair early on. But Team Falcons are never one to slouch, and they'll be quick back onto the attack, trying to break out of their own half already. It's Ahmad and TRK with the help of Khaled in the back line. It might just be a goal, but a big save from Masson.
And it was TRK who, in fact, got a demo onto Clears, I believe. We've seen that demo play work very well in Falcons' favour. Another huge save from Clears. Clears has really been my MVP for Rule 1. He's done it in offense. He's now doing it in defense as well. And the setup plays he's able to put over to his numbered teammates as well certainly stand him in good stead going forward. But Rule 1, I imagine they would want to get the lead first after conceding the last couple of games, get their ball rolling. And to do it maybe just before halftime might just be the play here for Rule 1.
It might just be indeed as we approach that halfway mark. It'll be a very, very important net goal found here. Momentum shifter if Rule 1 can find it. A confidence booster if it will be Falcons. And at the corner. It's Khaled. Masson. Push that ball upfield, trying to get a 50-50. The ball goes low and he goes high, but Khalid is in a perfect position to make a play. Looking for the bump, but in comes TRK. A launch out to the corner now. TRK bumped away. Masson beats out one, but to Khaled it will fall. 50-50 and Rawa, sorry, win the challenge.
It does feel like TRK is been the main man for Falcons. Ahmad has certainly had his choice of shots and choice of plays, but TRK right now is being the linchpin holding this squad together. In the same way that Clears has been for Rule 1, he's made the plays in offense, made the plays in defense. Here comes Clears now, try to set something up, perhaps maybe even go for the shot. Khaled will get that one away. Yeah, this feels kind of like it was in game 1 though, Boyle. Very, very open, very free-flowing, and no pressure really been put on by either team.
Clears the pass into centre. Masson cannot make the connection. Rawa sitting in that back corner once more. This, as the time ticks on, gets terrifying for whoever conceives first, Crafters. It is going to be almost game over for whoever gets that first concession. Clears going to be the one to try and get that goal on the board. The Falcons deny once again. No kind of heroic shots are coming on through. It's been just solid Rocket League. But that's not what this game needs. This needs a spectacle. No goals are going to be found without it.
Yeah, and I think Clears has gone for that dribble up the middle. through. Oh, is that? Oh, I thought that was off the post, the angle we were looking at. But Ahmad's going to score on a relatively empty net.
That's
I mean that's kind of like the overtime goal in game number 2 with Clear's far upfield. But yeah, that's the 50 seconds left. That's not what you want to see from Rule 1 with an open net. But what I was going to mention is Clears has gone for this air dribble down the middle or towards the backboard as well 3 or 4 times now in this game. And it's starting to get very readable and very predictable for Falcons. So they're putting a man on the backboard to cut that angle off. So some variation and some creativity required from Rule 1 if they want to tie this one up and prevent Falcons from going to match point.
Well, the 50-50, not going to be enough. Falcons only 20 seconds away for that match point being in their favour. Ahmad will catch it in the midfield. But in comes Masson now. Has to back off as here is TRK to ruin the fun. Clears off to the side. 50-50 going to find Masson. A last ditch effort with Clears rising high. Ahmad, a big launch away, and as the clock ticks on down, Crafters, match a point, Falcons.
Where is Rule 1 gone? They've gone to sleep. They've gone bye-bye. They've gone honk shoe. It is bedtime for Rule 1 if they can't wake up in time for game number 6. Oh boy, I mean, like we talked about, I just mentioned the creativity. It does seem like maybe they are going to have a talk about it. Maybe to try and drop some new plays because Rule 1 have called their timeout.
Yep.
I mean, it's the only place you can really do it. Once you're up 2 games, you don't anticipate using your timeout. But going into a game that you have to win, might as well burn it here.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I was going to say before they actually called a timeout that they need to call it now. They've lost 3 games in a row. This is not looking good for them. And hopefully, you know, Coach Cresper can instill some confidence into the team and give us that game 7. We were talking about all the way back in game 1. We expected a game 7 here. We are guaranteed at least 6. But we know that Rule 1 have that capability to bring it back. We know what they can do. We've seen it in both game 1 and 2 that they can outclass the Falcons. But they're just not seeming to have that kind of those star power moments, which is what they are so good at. They have star power on their team that can pull off incredible things. But they're seeming a lot more laid back and a lot more apprehensive to go for these kind of big plays that they are so good at.
It's just very one-dimensional as well.
Yeah.
Like, it does feel like it is Clears, you know, setting that play off the backboard or even just try to get something out from the corner. You need to change it up a little bit. You had a couple of demo plays and bump plays earlier on in the series. Bring them back out because we've not really seen Rule 1 being the aggressor in that sense. It has been Falcons for the last couple of games, getting the bumps, getting the demos, and it's turned the tide, and I imagine it's turned the tide mentally as well. So taking this, you know, minute or 2 in this timeout to just sort of reset, maybe walk around a bit and, you know, just change it up a little bit as we do enter Neo Tokyo. Timeout ended for Rule 1. No more talking. Let's get to playing.
No more talking as Bob's Ramen introduces us to the pitch. At least the players have somewhere to eat if it all goes wrong. Game number 6. It could be the end of Rule 1's upper bracket domination. They could be heading to the lower tier. Team Falcons 1 game away from the grand finals. Can they close it out here?
Other ramen brands and restaurants are available, but we do recommend you eat at Bob's Ramen wherever it's situated. But Rule 1 won't be looking to eat their dinner just yet. They want to get to this lovely dessert that we call game number 7. Have this sweetness of victory eaten through. Am I done with the food analogies here? I think I am.
Talking about ramen a lot.
You set up the ramen.
I just said they were here. I didn't make a whole song and dance about them.
I mean, Danny's asking is ramen or grapes. I like grapes all the way, definitely. Red grapes as well. Like white grapes are fine, but
we're not talking about the bright and red grapes again.
Yeah, we are. We absolutely are.
One thing that we should be talking about is maybe those green grapes, because the team in green, Falcons, match a point in their favour, and a potential first goal from Ahmad. Barely get a miss on out. That ball slips off the top corner. Rule 1 live another day.
Almost onions there from Team Falcons, getting the early lead. Rule 1 certainly seem invigorated now. Certainly seem like the more aggressive of the two teams here, but Falcons are fighting fire with fire, as it seems. Ahmad off this right-hand side doesn't really get anything going, but it does give it to Rawaz, and he's had a couple of air dribbles already, and it might get a flip reset. I thought he was going to go for it, but he gets over one, can't get it past Khaled, who gets the save.
Center now, Rawaz. It falls on off to the side. Khaled is going to wait in that back corner. I think it passed one, a 50-50 past another. To the side it will go, and Ahmad they dribble that ball away to centre now, not going to be successful just yet. It bounced off the corner, TRK cannot make the connection. Rawaz down the other end, Khaled with a 50-50 attempt. It will rise on high, we remain 0-0.
Oh, what?
The clock keeps on
Mason.
ticking.
Oh.
It's not going to slip on in, but so close. A pass in the centre, and Mason to Clears. It will be saved on the line by Ahmad. Rule 1 are trying everything that they can, but it's still not enough. Cleared once again, but saved by TRK. Khaled gets the clear, and TRK saves the day.
The three-man passing play from Rule 1 was working earlier on in the series, but it doesn't work now. Oh, actually, Rawaz has got it past two, but it's going to go wide, regardless of where Khaled was going to be on that play. He does get the save eventually. But man, Rule 1 are stoked for this one. They've realized they need to change it up, change the game, and give Falcons a lot more to think about in defense, and maybe even draw a few mistakes out from them, but pressure is not getting to these hardened veterans quite yet. Still 2 minutes left, and that one was very awkward from Rawaz. Does eventually clear it.
This Falcons defense is so hard to break through for Rule 1. Masson will try. The touch on the ball, Rawaz will take it high. Into centre. Ahmad ready for it, quick interaction, every touch so clinical at the moment. Rawaz into centre, is anyone there for a shot? Clears to no success, it will fall on out to the side. Masson will take it high, past the one he will go. Can he get the pass to Khaled as well? No, he cannot. Unsuccessful once again. It's going to fall back to the corner, where it's up to Masson to find the clearance away.
Must be getting to Rule 1 as well. They desperately need a goal to drop for them. Just for the mental side of things as well, they're throwing the kitchen sink and everything else at them, but nothing is getting through this wall of Falcons. All flapping their wings in front of net, warding off any attack that comes their way. The thing right now is Falcons can't get one back for themselves because Rule 1 are defending for their lives right now. 55 seconds and now downfield. Mazen to Clears. It was the winning combination in game number 2. Can't quite finish it here. And Rawaz will actually get it down to Clears. I thought it might have gone back in Falcons' favor. Here comes Clears. Flip reset. Over 1, over 2. 1-0 Rule 1.
Clears might have just saved the series. A flip reset could be the potential game winner as it slips under the crossbar crafter. It's 1-0 to Rule 1 with 40 seconds to go. Can Falcons bring it back? Or will we have a Game 7 on our hands?
Now, we've had Rule 1 tie things up quickly before. Falcons, we've not seen them do it as quickly, but they've got to do it fast right now. Khaled, 30 seconds in the corner, now out to Ahmad. And Rule 1 will just play the percentage game, play the defense that they need to play, just clear this ball downfield. As long as it doesn't get anywhere near their goal line, they will be very, very happy, boys, and we will be heading to Champions Field, but not quite yet, as Rawaz will save it over to Ahmad. Another shot off the backboard. Clears over 1, and he puts it to the ground, and Rule 1 send us to a decider.
Game number 7. We called it at the very start of the series, and what more of a poetic way did this series go than going all the way to that 7th game? I mean, it's only fate, honestly. Falcons and Rule 1, it has to go to Game 7. An incredibly important game for Falcons to win. As if Rule 1 make a final, they are another grand final away from actually making the major.
The thing you got to remember as well is that whoever loses here, they're not out. They just have 1 life left as they go down to the lower bracket, and they'll be taking on the winner of our 2nd series of the day, which will be coming up right after this one. It will be Twisted Minds taking on the Miracle Kids of Infinity. Can they make another miracle run happen? We'll find out a little bit later on, but for this one, Oh boy, match point, ready to go. I mean, we were saying all series we wanted to see Game 7. We love when these guys take us to the deciding map of Champions Field. We wouldn't have it any other way. No timeout called from Falcons. They just want to power through. I mean, they didn't call the timeout when they were 2-0 down. You might as well just power through and get to Game 7 now. Oh,
100%. Well, no timeout, as you mentioned, means that Champions Field,
there we go.
Champions may be made. It's game number 7. The two champion-level teams of MENA face off in our 7th game of our best of 7 series. Crafters, what we will go, nobody knows. What I do know is we've got 5 minutes of great Rocket League ahead of us.
This is going to be tense. Compare how this series has progressed since game 1, when it was very back and forth. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. I insist you have the ball. Now it's become aggressive. Now it becomes personal. Rule 1, like you said, haven't beaten Falcons in RLCS for quite a while at this point. They'd love to get it back right now as this one's dribbling towards the Falcons net. Ruaz sticks it in the first minute as Rule 1 takes the lead.
An early start for the... I don't even want to call them underdogs anymore, because at this point, these two teams are as even as can be. Rule 1 looking to be number 1 as they start off in tremendous fashion.
Now you've got to keep it up. Now you can't let Falcons anywhere near that orange side. I think this ball has spent pretty much the entirety of the first minute in the Falcons half. Namad now just trying to clear his lines some way, somehow. He does get it to TRK, he does get it past 1, he's out of boost, and it will be Clears who collects this on the goal line. Rule 1, no quick follow-up as of yet, but Falcons still wanting to tie this one up as quickly as Rule 1 has in the past. Khaled now towards the backboard, looking for a double touch off of his own set-up play, and here comes TRK, but Khalid keeps his cool and keeps this ball clear. But over to Ahmad, looking for the top corner, saved by Mazen.
The saves in this series have been incredible. Some more coming out from Rule 1, and a big launch down the other way. Khalid cannot find the redirect, but Khaled down to the other end instead. Falcons hunting for an equaliser. No success just yet though. Instead, Khalid's a shot to net, saved by TRK just in the nick of time. Khalid to centre. Rawas approaching, not going to make the connection. It's Masson sending it high over 1. A big launch away from Khalid. It is a mess on the pitch, but Falcons through this carnage is just looking, hunting for an equaliser.
And you saw a second ago, Masson playing the mind games as two Falcons players were descending on his car. He just gives himself a little bit of a wiggle, a little bit of a shake, and he shakes off the attackers. He keeps this one in favor of Rule 1. Here comes Mazen, the hippie shaker, past 1. Can't get it past TRK. Is anyone following up? Rawaz comes over the top. Kalirs is nowhere to be found as of yet, but it might be the best thing for them. Don't want to commit all 3 men to the box right there, but here comes Kalirs for the shot. TRK saves. Incredible offense from Rule 1, but incredible defense back for Falcons.
Big save, but it's not a goal, and that is what Falcons need. On the backboard is TRK. Khaled can be found, but he is not going to be fast enough. A double commit, the communication potentially breaking from the Falcons. They have got to keep a level head to try and tie up this game. And it rises high for Ahmad, a chance once more to bring it to centre, to find the bomb. It will be all that is needed for Falcons to make it even.
Big brain play from a big brain man in Ahmad. Doesn't even need TRK to stick this one in. He just eliminates the keeper. And with 2 minutes left, gives Falcons a shot to stay in this upper bracket and get to the grand final. The thing with not mentioned, remember, we got a bracket reset in play when you get to the final. Whoever comes from the lower has to win 2 best of 7s to take the regional. So to go through from this upper bracket is going to be a huge advantage for whoever wins it.
So Crafters, what you're saying is we could have this matchup 3 times today.
We very much could.
Trying to make it them in the grand final, but Wasp will finish it off. 90 seconds to go, and Rule 1 back in the lead.
Who wouldn't say no to 14 more games of this? Rule 1 certainly want to maybe only see Falcons another 4 times after this one. as they have 1 foot in the grand final, 1 foot in Boston, no less. Falcons, scenario for them, if they win this series, if they get to the final, they'll confirm their place in at least Dusseldorf. Still got a lot of work to do if they want to head stateside for the final time this season. But TRK maybe opening it up, but Rawaz will take this one out. Ahmad back over to Khaled. That's very smart, very mature play from the Falcons. Playing the back passes and keeping Rule 1 guessing at where they're coming next.
Hunting to make this game at least overtime is the Falcons. Khaled to bring it into centre. TRK on the approach, but Masson waiting perfectly back, ready for that ball. It's Khaled to Ahmad to try and push it through once again, but cannot beat that Rule 1 defense. They are so quick. That is the trouble the Falcons are having. It's a good bump on Masson and TRK off the backboard. They cannot find the angle on the shot. It will fall out to Khaled once more. What can he do with this ball? He'll go past 1. He'll try and go past 2. But Masson has been a clutch king for Rule 1.
That was a huge block for Masson. He might not have got direct possession off of it, but he at least picks Falcons' pockets clean and resets them back to square one. 10 seconds now. Ahmad to the car. Oh! 8 seconds and Falcons tie it up.
They're not done yet, Crafters. This game is never going to end. Clears tries to stretch, but it is not enough. A Game 7 overtime is on the horizon, but can they survive the remaining 8 seconds? Off the kickoff. Rawaz, but TRK will find it. Martin needs to send this one away. It is in dangerous territory. Ahmad keeps it up. He's going all the way to the back where it will fall. Clears, send it to the ground. He wants to keep it up. He has some faith in himself, but to the ground it will finally fall. We go to overtime.
I was saying watch the kickoff because Rule 1 have had great kickoffs in the past. Don't get a quick one this time around and didn't get it before the start of overtime.
Oh,
it doesn't matter! Falcons complete the comeback. Ahmad sends Falcons to Dusseldorf.
Ahmad out of nowhere. The speed is all that is needed. And not even 10 seconds later, Falcons take the series, Crafters.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Team Falcons. Take a bow. What a series that was. I mean, like I said, sign me up for 14 more games of that. If Rule 1 make it, they were going to have to take a bracket reset off of Falcons in the final, but oh my goodness.
Wow.
Look how close they came as well. Like the first goal, hovering on the goal line, and back and forth we went. That was high-level play, and I think they knew it from the start. They knew they were saving everything for game number 7, but that upfield pass, oh my goodness. You thought Rule 1 had it in the palm of their hands, and they let it slip away at the final stages.
So good from Ahmad at the end, and it is a tale as old as ever. A team up against Falcons in the final game of the series, and it all comes crumbling down. Falcons going to that grand final, a place where they belong to be, and they should be there every single event. Wow.
They absolutely should, yeah, but congratulations to Falcons. They're obviously not confirmed for the Boston Major yet, but confirming their spot in the World Championship again. As I don't know if they're number 1 or number 2 yet. I think Rule 1's still hot on their heels for number 2, or for number 1, I should say. But they've got a huge chance now. 1 foot. Well, they're in the grand final with a spot in the World Championship. They need a lot of work if they want to get to that final major of the season.
They do. But who will Rule 1 be facing in that lower bracket, Crafters? That's what we're going to be finding out coming up very soon. It's Infinity versus Twisted Mind is our next match of the day. So stick around. We will not be long. We'll see you then for some more great Rocket League.